Welcome to Here Comes the Boom, a Kentucky recruiting podcast brought to you by KSR and KSR Plus. I'm your host, Jacob Polacheck, and I'm on vacation, so this is going to be a short one, but I want to let everyone know about all the updates in Kentucky basketball recruiting. Before I do, be sure to go and subscribe to KSR Plus. We got a lot of great content going on over there, over on the KS board, and stories every day over on KSR Plus. So let's get into it. It's been short week in recruiting, but some big things have happened, starting with Braylon Mullins. He cut Kentucky from his list. Kentucky is now out of the running for Braylon Mullins. He's down to 3 schools, but the 2 schools that I continue to hear the most with him are Indiana and UConn. I think that UConn, obviously being the home state school, they've been on him for a very long time. I'm not counting them out. There's been a lot of buzz with UConn, but I still see this as a toss-up. But now that Kentucky's out of it, we won't be paying as close attention, and it allows Kentucky to shift over their attention to some other guards in this 2025 class. So let's talk about where Kentucky goes next from here. Obviously, the Cats already have commitments from Jasper Johnson at the guard position and Malachi Moreno at the center position. Now they're looking to fill out the rest of this class. The 2 names that I keep hearing the most are Acaden Lewis and Caleb Wilson. We talked about both of those guys last week. There's been so much talk about the 2 of them in a package deal, tweeting at each other, commenting on each other's Instagram posts. The 2 clearly like playing alongside each other, and I talked to Caleb about a potential package deal, and he enjoys playing with Acaden and is open to the possibility of going to the same school as him. Notably, Kentucky is, I believe, the only school on both of their lists. I know North Carolina is involved, but it seems like for Acaden Lewis, it's Kentucky, Duke, and UConn as the 3 schools that are coming up the most. So those are the 2 big names for Kentucky, but there's also some upcoming official visits that are worth talking about. This upcoming weekend, September 27th through the 29th, Kentucky will host 5-star power forward Chris Sinak and 5-star point guard Michael Brown for official visits. 2 big visitors. I expect Kentucky to take only one of Michael Brown or Acaden Lewis. I guess they would take both if both wanted to come, but that's a crowded backcourt with Jasper Johnson already in the fold. But getting Michael on campus is important. I think that Kentucky stands probably a decent shot there. I know Louisville's a school that's heavily involved, and interestingly, Louisville will be hosting Michael Brown for an unofficial visit earlier in the week. I guess when you're watching this, that he will be on campus. And then Chris Sinak, continue to hear LSU as a big name involved. And then Kentucky and Arkansas are a couple other names that I'm hearing for Chris. Houston is also involved. So it will be telling where Kentucky goes after this weekend's official visits. Obviously, Chris Sinak and Caleb Wilson both play the 4 position, both play the power forward position, but I would guess that they'd probably take both of them if they wanted to come, but you probably have to prioritize one of those guys. I don't see a world in which both guys would want to come to Kentucky and play alongside each other just because of the positional overlap. But you're pursuing both those guys. You got to put in the effort to try and land one of them. I think that if Kentucky can land one of Chris Sinak or Caleb Wilson, they're in a great spot in this 2025 class. And then if they can get one of Acaden Lewis or Michael Brown, they're in an amazing spot. Getting 2 of those 4 guys would probably wrap up their recruiting class and give them one of the best classes in the country. So that's where things stand right now. I'm sure we're going to get some more clarity on Acaden Lewis's official visit pretty soon. So let's get into the final thought. The final thought is, we're kind of at a point where we're going to find out a lot about where Kentucky goes from here. You're starting to see a lot of guys cut their lists. You're seeing Kentucky get cut from a lot of lists, and that's not a bad thing because it starts to show who the priorities are And it's clear the priorities right now. Caleb Wilson is priority one. Acaden Lewis is right up there. Chris Sinak, Michael Brown. That's a solid 4 priorities that you have. If you can land 2 of those, then you're in a really good spot. And that's really where things stand with Kentucky recruiting. It's a short episode today. Like I said, I'm on vacation. So we'll be back soon with a longer episode to recap where everything it goes with Kentucky recruiting and where things stand after these upcoming official visits. Thank you all for joining us. Be sure to subscribe to KSR Plus, subscribe to the KSR YouTube channel, and we'll see you again soon.